What's up, hippie fam? So we're back out in the garage today. It's a beautiful sunny Saturday in North Carolina. High is going to be 60 today, so I took advantage and we're going to go ahead and we're going to wash the bikes. So we're going to go ahead and do a step-by-step tutorial on how I wash my bike, and maybe you guys can take some tips from it. So go ahead, stay tuned. So when washing a bike, you always want to make sure you rinse off any excess dirt off first. So you always do a pre-rinse. So here I'm just going over all the areas of the bike, just making sure that I saturate it all with water to loosen up any mud that may just stick there. So it is very important that you do a pre-soak before laying down an actual cleaner. So once you've completely rinsed the bike, it's now time to apply a cleaner of your choice. I am using Muc-Off's bike cleaner. This is the first time I have used this cleaner, and I do say that I like the coverage. The suds wasn't really as sudsy as I've seen before, but I was pretty satisfied with it. Go ahead and get all the fine things. So now it's time to actually wash the bike. I did not use a double bucket method, which you use one bucket soap, the other bucket water to rinse. I just went ahead and just used a single bucket method because I went ahead and I doused the bike in the actual foaming bike cleaner. But as you can see here, I am just casually just wiping the dirt off. I will go into the bucket as well and rinse and repeat, and you do this over the whole course of the bike. Oh yeah, don't look at it like that. So when cleaning your forks, you want to make sure that you keep any dirt away from the fork seals. You do not want to push that dirt down into the lowers because it will mix in with the oil and it could cause your stanchions to scratch. So when cleaning both front and rear suspension, depending on if you have a full sus or just a hardtail, make sure you clean those seals and make sure that no water or contamination get down in there. So here you can see me using a tire brush to get all the mud and dried up dirt off the tires. I do this to the front and rear tires, and it makes the tires just look brand new, like they never even touched dirt. So I do highly recommend getting a bike cleaning kit, or even if you already have a cleaning kit and you just don't have a tire brush, definitely get one of these. You'll be extremely satisfied. So here we're going to have to go ahead and clean the drivetrain now. So I went ahead and I'm putting on my Muc-Off disc brake rotor protectors. These are the best investment I've ever made, and I never have contaminated disc brake rotors or pads any longer. So I do highly suggest you run out and get these. But yeah, went ahead and just put it on the rear because I was spraying some drivetrain degreaser and I did not want to get it on the actual rotor. So now it's time to move on to actually cleaning the cassette and the drivetrain. As you can see, I got a cassette brush right here. I'm just using standard soap and water right now with a little bit of drivetrain degreaser in it. You will see me go all the way up the cassette, making sure all the teeth are clean, and then you'll see me continue onto the derailleur. So now it's time to move over to the chain. This time I went ahead and I just used the standard chain brush that you see people with motorcycles using. It is pretty efficient in cleaning. I do have an actual chain washing machine where you attach it to the chain and you just pedal it through and it will clean and degrease the chain. But I didn't feel like going through all that this time, so I went ahead and I just took the chain brush and went through the length of the chain this way. So now it's time to clean your derailleur and the jockey wheels. This is probably the most difficult part because so much gunk and oil and dirt and all that just cakes onto these jockey wheels. So I do recommend using a stiff brush like I'm using. I like using a cassette brush, or either you see a chain brush right here like I'm using, to get all that grime and grit out of there. But it will take some time. There is another method you can use. I know if you scrape most of it off with a screwdriver, particularly a flathead screwdriver, you can get a lot of it off before you actually start washing the bike. But this, as you can see via video evidence, this is how I do it. And alright, so now that we have successfully agitated all the dirt off the body of the bike and off its components, it's now time to do the final rinse. This is where you need to ensure that you've covered all of your spots, and if something's not rinsing off, like for instance you got a little bit of oil on the bike or there's still dirt attached to it, this is where you can spot check to go over it, because full suspension bikes are mad hard to get fully clean. You have to be very specific to detail. So once you have finished rinsing your bike and drying off your bike and making sure that there's absolutely no water on your bike anymore, what I do is I take Muc-Off Silicone Shine and I'll spray it on the towel or on stanchions. And as you can see right here, I'm just working it in, and what it does is it will remove the stiction that you sometimes get on your stanchions and on your dropper posts and all that stuff. So as you can see here, I am currently doing it to my forks, and I'll go ahead and cycle it enough a couple times so it goes ahead and gets into lowers and it'll be smooth. So here is where you'll see where I stated before, I do put this on my dropper posts, on all of my dropper posts, because it absolutely 100% removes any type of stiction. And then the same thing, after I go ahead and I buff it out, I will go ahead and cycle the dropper post about 3 to 4 times just to make sure that it is dispersed evenly. So now we have a nice clean YT Jeffsy. Let's go ahead and stare at it for a bit.